Hey guys, the video presentation you're watching is about a creative past disruptor, which in this case is the Steamboat Willie. The Steamboat Willie is the first of its kind to have sound fully synchronized with the animation. And in this presentation, we'll be discussing the following topics. Number one, what did they change? Number two, what technology was used to change the industry? Number three, what was the cultural impact? Number four, who was the target audience? Number five, how did they reach their audience? Number six, how did the audience respond? Number seven, what were the skills required? And number eight, what were the ethical issues?
What did they change? Before 1926, animation used to be pictures or paintings projected either onto the wall or seen inside devices called the phenakistoscopes or the zoetropes. In the year 1926, sound was added to the animated song called cartoons. But it was not revolutionary, since there were films before it that had sound too. The only difference being this was animated. Come 1928, Walt Disney and his partner Iwerks made an animated musical short called The Steamboat Willie, and this was actually revolutionary. This was the first animation to have fully synced sound effects that wasn't done before. What technology was used to change the industry? A black and white 35mm print for the cinematography, a click track to keep audio in sync with the animation, which cartoons failed to achieve, and a multi-channel optical sound system called the cinephone that allowed sound to be recorded directly to the photographic film. What was the cultural impact? I'm sure you've heard of this anthropomorphic rodent called Mickey Mouse. Yeah, this was the animation that made Mickey Mouse as popular as he is. He became the face of everything that Disney has made and also became a positive aspect of many people's childhood memories.
Who was the target audience? Back then, cartoons or animations were mainly for the younger generations, but because Steamboat Willie was the first of its kind, it was opened for the general public, maybe even pets. How did they reach the audience? Well, Walt figured the best way to get to the public was to use a theater. So Walt Disney reached out to Harry Richenberch, who was the owner of the Colony Theater, and it was set to be premiered for 2 weeks at the Colony Theater. How did the audience respond? It was said that the audience were astonished of the outcome, and it was literally the talk of the town, and also it was all over the press.
What were the skills required? Hard skills. I'm sure the animation students here would know. Animation itself is hard enough, but animating on paper while maintaining the volume and continuity is excruciating. But sometimes it pays off, like it did for Walt Disney. He was always interested in drawing since a very young age, but he didn't get to do that all the time. He was forced to work with his father, helping him distribute morning papers, and after that, he was made to join the World War I as an ambulance driver for the American Red Cross. But after all those hurdles, he got himself a job as a newspaper cartoonist and then a job in an art studio where he met his partner, Iwerks. Soft skills. Walt Disney always made cartoons that would bring positivity into people, or at least made them feel better, which he did in early 1930s when the world was going through an economic crisis and depression was everywhere. He knew what exactly would make the people feel better. He also used to hire young people for their creativity, and they would work for him because they were inspired by his work. Disney also had a progressive mindset. He did not stop at one success. He kept on wanting to achieve more, which is why he moved from making successful short films to feature length movies, most of which were also successful. What were the ethical issues? Like I mentioned earlier, Steamboat Willie wasn't the first animation with sound. It was the song Cartoons by Max Fleischer. But Steamboat Willie's success did not stop people from calling it the first animation with sound, which is wrong. Though Steamboat Willie is the first one to sync the music and sound effects, it surely wasn't the first one to bring sound with it. Credit where credit is due. The other issue was the device that Disney used for Steamboat Willie was the cinephone, which was a clone of the newly invented phonofilm. It was basically a hardware plagiarize, but I don't suppose that counts. Or does it? Why did he do it, you ask? Well, first you get successful and then you get money, not the other way around. He did what he could and got the cheaper product to make do. Conclusion: Steamboat Willie, the musical short film that changed the industry forever while also introducing an iconic character known all around the world. It was not the first animation with sound, but it was the first one to do it right, to synchronize each sound precisely to the slapstick animation playing on the screen. This small animation played a major role in bringing the Walt Disney Company where it is today.